Hello and welcome to another episode of Financial Earning. On today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about the outstanding share count for Mullen Automotive. As you can see, I broke down some of the DEF 14As as well as the 10K and new 8K that Mullen just dropped on Friday afternoon. So let's go ahead and get into it. First thing I want to talk about is going back to the November 8th filing. So this was the proxy material that was filed. It had a record date of November 6th. I have it highlighted there. You can see that. And what I wanted to box and talk about is the common stock. So you can see 413,097,639 shares of common stock as of that record date of November 6th. And then in terms of beneficial ownership, Equitas Capital LLC had a total share count, including exercisable warrants, of 106,236,735. Isusa had 69,571,736. However, what I did want to point out was the two different superscripts there. First, starting with Equitas, if you go to the section number 3, you can see that Equitas had, as of record date November 6th, 40 million shares of common stock and 66,236,735 shares of common stock issuable upon exercise of warrants. So if they exercise all the warrants, that as of that date, that's the amount of shares that they could acquire. All right, and then looking at section 4, talking about Isusa Holdings, they had, as of record date November 6th, 36 million shares of common stock and 7,949,973 common stock issuable upon exercise of warrants, calculated again as of November 6th, and these would have been shares owned by Isusa Holdings. But then looking at section B of there, you'll see 25,621,760 shares of common stock, again issuable upon exercise of warrants. Those are held by Michael Wachs, who is the managing member of Isusa Holdings. So take out the already exercised shares. So take out the 40 million out of Equitas Capital, take out the 36 million from Isusa Holdings, and then add up those, and you're going to see that as of November 6th, Isusa, at a minimum, could have exercised, and this is post-split adjusted, this is the 1-for-100 split adjustment already, they could have exercised all their warrants that day and gotten 335,717 shares that would have increased the common share count. However, if they would have held until December 20th, looking at the price action difference. So if you see on November 6th, the price was $31 a share. Again, this is post 1-for-100 split. And then look at where we were at on December 20th, it was $8.50 a share. So that's a 72.6% decline. Just using that ratio there, one could speculate that if Isusa was to have held all of the warrants until December 20th, they could have then issued a total of 1,225,244 common shares. And again, that's post-split adjustment. Equitas, if you add up the segment 4 there on the beneficial ownership and then do your post-split adjustment, they could have exercised a total of 662,367 common shares. Again, same thing with the same percent. If they would have held all of those shares and exercised on 12/20, they could have acquired up to 2,417,399 common shares. So it's a big difference between when exactly they exercise that, and then looking at the common stock or the common share amount on January 17th filing, and this was effective as of January 12th, you'll see that it grew to 5,884,693. So looking at that delta, the share count, the common stock share count increased by 1,753,715 shares. Again, looking at that same filing, so this is the 10K I'm talking about, Equitas Group Holdings only beneficial owner left as of that record date of January 12th had the equivalent of 870,743 shares. And if you look at section 3 or subscript 3 there, you'll see that these were issuable upon exercise of warrants calculated as of January 12th. So this also tells us that as of that date, Equitas Holdings had no common stock ownership. So between Isusa's holding company and then also Equitas, they sold out all of their common shares. Isusa turned around and exercised all the warrants and then sold all of those common shares as well. That had a very large impact on the share price. So if you look at that 72.6% decline, that was definitely a good portion of that, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice, but I did want to just share my sentiment. This is for entertainment purposes only. So again, Friday afternoon, we get this last filing from David Mishery, and this is an 8K. This 8K has a couple of really good pieces of information in there. First thing it mentioned is that the company hasn't issued any new warrants. So there's been no new dilutive warrants being added to the common share price in terms of any type of share price offerings or anything like that. Also, it says that no existing warrants have been exercised since the reverse stock split of its common stock, which has an effective date of December 21st, 2023. So that's why I went ahead and used that December 20th date to kind of calculate that percent drop and to see that ratio potentially what it means in terms of share count. So again, last little bit of information there was that currently there are 69,977 warrants outstanding. So just to be clear, that doesn't convert over to just 69,977 common shares being added. That's the amount of warrants. So you have to understand that that does have a exercise price difference, and we actually know as of January 12th, what does that 69,977 warrants account for? As of that date, it would have been 870,743. So again, just wanted to keep you all updated. Wanted to show you how this common stock count actually increased, and in my opinion, had a lot to do with the Isusa Holdings company and the Equitas Holding company, how they exercised their warrants, as well as how the price declined based off of their sell-off. And the one thing that this 8K did not tell us is that did Equitas sell off any of their common shares, or did Isusa Holdings sell off any of their common shares after the reverse split? We don't know. All we know is that there was no additional warrants being exercised. So that's it for this video. I'm trying to keep it a little bit shorter than my others. If you like what you heard, please go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to hear anything else about this situation, or if you want to hear any other types of coverage on Mullen, please let me know. And with that said, I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.